Okay, moving on to question 16. A sequence is defined by u1 equals to a, u2 equals to b, un plus 2 equals to un plus 1 for n greater or equal to 1, where a and b are positive integers. Cool. Highest common factor of a and b is 7. Okay, very important information there. Which of the following statements must be true? Okay, so we have statement 1, 2, and 3, right? So when we see the question, this is sort of some Fibonacci going on, right? Some sort of a Fibonacci sequence, but then you can choose your first two integers yourself. Yeah, the only restriction is that the highest common factor of a and b is 7, which means that both a and b basically are multiples of 7. Yeah. So let's have a look. Statement 1. U2023 is a multiple of 7. Is that true? Okay, so let's have a think. So a and b are both multiples of 7. So if I have u3, well, u3 comes from u1 plus u2, right? So if I add them up together, I get another multiple of 7. Yeah. So multiple of 7 plus multiple of 7 is always a multiple of 7. Alright, okay, so by induction, or whatever method you fancy, I think that every single term in this sequence is indeed a multiple of 7. Yeah, because you keep on, it's always multiple of 7 plus multiple of 7, which always leaves you with a multiple of 7 anyway. Alright, so statement 1 is definitely true, yeah, the proof is clear there. Okay, statement 2 then. If u1 is not a factor of u2, then u1 is not a factor of un for any n greater than 1. Okay, so for these sort of TMUA questions, when it says must be true, yeah, the word must is very important. You always try to construct counterexamples, yeah, except when the proof is clear, like statement 1. Okay, so let's try to construct counterexamples for this. So the one that I've thought about is if you go a is 21 and b is 7. Alright, so when you add these two things, what is your u3? Your u3 is 28, right? 28. Okay, and it seems like, well, nothing fancy is happening, right? It seems like, well, 21 is not a factor of 28, right? Okay, how about u4 though? u4 is 35, right? Which is still, it still doesn't satisfy the thing, right? Because 21 is not a factor of 35. Okay, but then if you add this up, what's this? That's 63. Okay, that means that u1 is a factor of u5 now, right? 21 is a factor of 63. Okay, so that disproves statement 2. Yeah, I found a counterexample. All right, and the reason that I've used this counterexample is that if you look at statement 3, it is also a valid counterexample. The highest common factor of u1 and u5 is 7. Well, what is my highest common factor now? It's 21, right? Because 21 divides perfectly into 63, right? So the highest common factor of my example is 21, which means that statement 3, can be sometimes false, all right? It is not, the fact that is not must be true, right? The word must is important. Okay, so B would be my answer, 1 only.